Hey everybody, welcome to another chapter a day. Keeps the doctor away. My name is Alan, otherwise known as Hisui, and I'm from ReverseThieves.com as well as the Speakeasy podcast. And this time I'm looking at Bleach chapter 568. Here, fear, here. Which the first here being like the ear, and then the second here being like the location you're telling here. Which also kind of sounds like a pitch for a store that sells fear or maybe horror. Like, here, fear, here. And now at discount prices. Chew. And man, I almost thought you were being cool there, Taide Kubu. I was like, oh man, you're just breaking all the rules. You're having Renji win a fight. You're having Rukia be cool and living up to her awesome potential. Alright, man, I sometimes give you a lot of crud. And heck, the internet. Ho, 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 ho. But you know, for this last arc, you're finally kind of giving everybody something they want. Next thing you know, Shad will win a fight and it won't be totally like overturned like 3 seconds later by a slightly more powerful guy that totally beats him into the ground. And then the rest of this chapter. So, Rukia is warming up, and I'm like, alright, yeah. Oh, wait. Here, fear, here. There's probably going to be more of this guy. This fight was way too quick. Fudge. And I was right. And he's like, no, the greatest fear is me pissing off pretend last bad guy. Oh no, I have to power up and defeat Rukia. And so he smashes through his fear and he has like super demon form, Death Reaper. And he's like, no, now you shall know true fear. And Rukia's like, my body's still dead. I don't care. And he's like, your cells may be alive. Which I think is a poor translation, but whatever. But essentially, the outside of you may still be dead, but your nerves are still alive. And my fear is infiltrating your nervous system. But you've looked at me too long. Now even if you close your eyes, my fear will get you. And she just basically can't move because she's paralyzed with fear. And you're like, wow. You had all this build-up, all this like, wow. Overturning that female characters are never as cool as the dudes in shonen fighting. And especially all this week with Diane totally being awesome and Seven Deadly Sins. I'm like, man, sometimes I'm a little hard on shonen manga and how really meh it treats its female characters, but every once in a while you guys prove, thanks. So, hey man, that's fine. I mean, if she doesn't win the fight, that's cool. Because all these fights run like that. I mean, it would have been cool for her to do a one-shot win. But that, that's still not the worst. I mean, it still really could be good. I mean, they could have a few back and forths. That's just like, the shonen formula. She does something awesome. You think she wins. He pops out of it. She has yet another cool technique. I mean, her blade used to have 3 different forms. So maybe one of her other forms of her snowblade will save her. It's still okay. And then you're like, oh no, she isn't moving. And the one who has to save her is her brother. And so she's just going to be stuck with fear. And Bakuya gets to, overcome his defeat before. And alright. And I mean, I understand Bakuya's a high-level dude, and you need him to overcome his defeat from before. But really, should it be at Rukia's expense? Because she's also supposed to be a cool character, and her beating the guy who beat her brother would kind of show a progress, wouldn't it? But nope. Now, I'm not going to count out the storyline completely yet. I mean, they could work together to defeat him. Like, essentially, Fukuya here could do something, and then, you know, you think that Bakuya's won, but then he whips out yet another thing, and then Rukia saves him, and they basically both have to team up to defeat that guy. That wouldn't be horrible. Or they can both go through several progressions of him, like that pink haired, bad guy that Renji fought. And then ultimately, you know, um, Kenji just comes in and he's like, I have no fear because I'm just a berserker guy. But somehow I don't think that's the case. But it would be if Kenpachi was just like, I'm always the guy who helps out teams who suck. But, I mean, I guess at this point, theoretically, the best thing would be them teaming up, and only them working together defeats this guy. That wouldn't be horrible. Although, once again, if they just repeatedly get beat by this guy, and then Kenpachi is the one who defeats him, that would kind of be sucky for both of them, but hysterical. And then just Kenpachi's just like, I'm gonna defeat everybody. Wah 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 wah. And Ichigo just shows up and he's like, yeah, I wasn't really that popular anyhow. But yeah, hopefully Rukia just won't spend this whole fight like she's Yuya from Samurai Deeper Kyo going, Oni-san, you can do it. I'll cheer you from the sidelines. Because that would just be kind of sad. That is like worst case scenario. That Rukia does nothing but basically go, you can do it, big brother. And then he just, wins. If they have to team up, it would not be my preferred scenario, but at least it wouldn't be horrible. The Rukia just being the cheerleader and like, yay, you can do it. That is just going to be some... I'm like, you older. I was kind of mad at you, but you're off the hook now. Bleach basically just committed a crime so horrible that your crimes are just only kind of minor. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how happy or disappointed I am starting next week. All right, see you guys next time.